Oh, that's great. Yeah. So we are rolling. So, that was perfect. Yeah, because we just did a countdown right before this started, and so it hit the record button, and then it did another countdown for us.
Hey, but on the right side, we didn't have the millennial pause.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, because I was like getting me and Logan ready to actually do this. And then
Nah,
it
but
counted
like,
for us.
have you heard about the millennial pause? Like, have you looked at that at all?
No, no, no. What is that?
So it's like people recording and they'll like stop a few seconds before the video and like so they'll start the video and then they'll just not talk for a few seconds and then they'll start talking and it's called the millennial pause because all these millennials who are like recording, it's like they'll stop and then they'll start speaking. It's like I guess it's where like they used to have like a countdown before like recording crap and now it's just like a press and go. But it's not really a problem for like new age.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, so I used to do that, but like it wasn't because of that reason. It was simply because I would like look over and check my mic quality and make sure that all systems are running normally.
Your mic quality.
Yeah,
Mike's
which
checking his mic quality.
mic checking his mic quality is crazy. But yeah, so yes, let's just go ahead and get started on the video. Yeah, so let's just reintroduce. So I'm sure y'all already know. I'm pretty sure when to go. Michael Johnson, and this is
And
our
I'm
co-host Logan Anderson here.
Logan Anderson. I don't have a
The
channel because I deleted it. But I
the
started a
Logan.
new one. Yeah, I'm the Logan Anderson. Uh, my family actually figured out that they were like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, "Oh, I've got to record an episode." They're like, "What episode?" I'm like, "Oh, of the podcast." So I've dodged the question of the name. So what the goal is just to get it so big that they find it on their own.
Yeah, 100%, dude. See, now a bunch of people from school have actually kind of saw the podcast a little bit.
Yeah, my fault.
No, 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 that's actually really great. I want that. People need to see this podcast. It's genuinely a fun podcast. I mean, last time it wasn't that great, but this time I think that we're just gonna take off.
Well, one of my buddies asked me, they found out I had a podcast with you, and they were like, "You and Michael have a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's this if you want to hear us yap." And they're like, "Was it about this, this, and this?" And they hit every show note that we did last time, like impeccably. I'm like, "How'd you know?" They're like, "We've sat in a conversation with you and Michael. Y'all talk about the same things every day."
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So also, we need to go ahead and brief the audience on why we haven't been recording.
Yes,
Um,
that's very true.
Yeah, so the reason that we have not been recording is simply because me and Logan's schedule have just not been meshing. Like, they've just not been going together at all recently. So that genuinely just sucks. But now that our schedules are kind of aligning more and school is chilling a little bit,
Calming down.
yeah, just calming down. It's like, it's not that bad, but we should be able to record a little bit more. Our last podcast was a long time ago.
Months ago,
Yeah, dude.
months and months. Was it a year at this point?
I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. Uh,
So while he's checking that, because I'm sure it has been months and months. I know last time we just talked about truthism and crap, and we explained that kind of whole thought system. We're not really going to touch on that too much. This episode, we're going to mostly be talking about Jesus because at the end of the day, the logical conclusion is Jesus. So that's what we're going to be talking about, and that's mainly what the podcast is going to be out from here on out. This is a very religious podcast. I'm pretty sure y'all got the gist of that last episode. Because if I'm not mistaken, last episode was like backstory.
mhm.
Michael, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But didn't we
Yeah.
yap about our
So
past?
yeah. So the logical conclusion, episode one, quote unquote truthism, which is us going over the philosophy of truthism, us as people, and then the channel itself. And that was actually 10 months ago. I'm looking at it right now on my channel.
Wow, so just shy of a year.
Yeah. 51 views by the way.
Let's double that. Actually, we need at least 100 views.
Yeah, yeah, so my channel's actually been growing a little bit. I now have 49 subscribers, which is pretty nice, I think. I'm trying to get more subscribers than I have videos. I have 51 videos and 49 subscribers, so I mean, not a good ratio, but it's still a decent ratio.
Well, so also another thought to just think about, and I'm putting this out there just as a thought, but if we do get a lot of traction on this, we could absolutely not move the podcast, but move your other videos. Like transfer them to a new channel. Because like if this one becomes the main focus of our channel, then
Yeah, I'm also thinking about just getting rid of all my old podcast videos because those don't matter anymore because I'm transferring over the podcast to this. And,
right,
and my most viewed one of my most viewed videos is Preacher Wendigo podcast episode 4, which was the ending of my previous podcast. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete my old podcast just entirely because I already deleted a few of the videos from it. So I'll just
Exodia,
delete that.
obliterate.
Yeah, yeah, just get rid of it. I'm gonna maintain the animations because my niece and nephew they they watch them. So other than that, the channel is just gonna be focusing on the gaming and the podcast. That's about it.
Yeah, so if you're okay with it, I'm gonna yap about the channel that I'm trying to get off the ground right now.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So I've actually kept it a secret from you. I have posted videos on it,
Hmm.
but I've actually recently just scrapped them. So obviously my little brother was recording those for me, and I was thinking, I'm like, I don't think this whole concept for it is going to be very successful. Simply put, it was just revitalizing the family farm, and I made progress on the farm, but it just wasn't very entertaining. So I'm going to be completely revamping all of that, and it's going to be very different. Anything from gaming to storytelling to like character concept beats, analysis is what I watch on YouTube is a lot of video essays. And I would imagine the things that I enjoy watching would be the things that I enjoy making because I have made video essays before. So that's pretty much the concept of it. It's really in its infantile state, but if I make any progress on that, my goal is to surpass this channel in subscribers and then bring the audience here. I want to keep it separated until I get to that point though.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. So another update about the podcast. Sorry for changing the topic so abruptly. By the way, once you guys do find Logan's channel, if he wants, we can link it down below. If not, that's whatever. Whenever he gets it up and actually going good to what he likes, we'll add a link down below. But me and Logan talked before the podcast was being recorded, and so Logan he has decided to make himself a co-host and make me the primary host of this podcast because just in case me and his schedules don't align, I can go ahead and record a podcast on my own. And I can also just go ahead and get some guests on here for you guys to just listen to me and them yap about something, alright? Because I kind of want to get an atheist on here or an agnostic and talk to them about why they believe that their philosophy is the logical conclusion.
I do not want to miss that because I have talked to a few atheists. I actually met someone who doesn't believe in objective reality the other day.
Ooh, I
So,
like I would love to have them on here because that goes against the very concept of truthism, which is our primary philosophy.
well, I know their stance. So their basic stance was that we cannot perceive reality,
Hmm.
and that would be such a good, like, argumentative
So what
guess.
are they saying that we cannot perceive true reality or just
They
reality at
believe
all?
they believe that since we cannot perceive anything, they believe we can't perceive anything. Therefore, we couldn't discern what's reality and what's
Hmm.
true or what's not.
That is now. Now I don't want to insult their beliefs and philosophies. However, like that is I'll say that is a unique stance. I've never heard that before. I mean, I've definitely
Well,
heard of it before, but I ain't ever actually heard someone truly believe it.
well, I called them goofy. I'm not gonna lie because it didn't make sense, and I questioned them further.
Hmm.
Which they are in a bunch of college classes. Uh, over they're in a bunch of college classes over philosophy, which they are
Hmm.
not in high school or anything. This is an older gentleman.
Yeah.
So to be honest, I don't know what would be the likelihood of us getting him on there, but I could definitely ask him if that's something we want to look at.
Mm. Yeah. Do make sure that you ask him after we get this edited and uploaded. That way, he kind of gets a new sense of how we truly believe here on the podcast. Because truthism is a direct contradiction of his beliefs, and just this podcast should give him a highlight on how our podcasts are going to be ran in the future. I'm also going to put my email in the description of this video so people can contact me so they can ask to be on here. You think that'd be a good idea?
Honestly, I think that would be a great idea considering, and I'm going to dox what we use to do our calls in a recording here for just a
Yeah,
second,
go ahead.
but we use Riverside, and Riverside, you can simply be sent a link and join into the studio, is what
Hmm.
it's called. So it's really convenient as a free website or software for having guests on podcasts like this.
Yeah, and I can invite people mid call. Like right now, I'll have a thing pulled up, and I can send an email for an invite and a link for an invite.
Yeah, so it would be super easy and even convenient to have guests on.
Yeah.
By the way, completely off topic, but this whole time we've been calling, I've been sewing my coat and it's finished.
Oh yeah, nice, nice, nice.
I'm now not going to be cold.
Mm-hmm. Oh
We
yeah,
need to
so
set up. Oh, go ahead.
yes. I was also gonna say that just for anyone who wants to be on the podcast who doesn't want to dox their face, we don't ever reveal our faces on this podcast. Mainly just so people who listen to it can listen to it while doing other things without having to worry about seeing anything. We'll mostly not be a visual podcast, just an auditory podcast because that's in my opinion the point of a podcast. So nothing will be shown. You don't have to worry about your face, just your voice. Maybe your name if you want your name, but if you want to be called something else, we'll try to call you something else.
So, actually, I've had some ideas about that, and I wanted to run them by you, actually.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking once we got some traction on the podcast, do you know how many views our last one got?
Our last one got 51 views.
Okay, so once we're reaching like at least 300 consistently, what I was going to do is I was going to start editing these in a way where so you know how like you'll see the things on YouTube where it'll be the little circles and every time the person talks it kind of like has the ring around it.
Mm-hmm.
I was simply going to throw our audio into a software and like split screen it between us, and every time we talked I'll just like edit the little ring around it. So if we had a guest, all it would simply be doing is just adding in whatever circular profile picture that they wanted.
Yeah, I mean that'd be nice. I mean, so far like it just highlights our name when we talk, which isn't bad.
Yeah. Um, and I hate to do this because we're only 13 minutes into the recording, but I will have to take a quick leave of absence and I should be gone no more than 5 minutes. So, yeah, I'll just let you take over from here for a second.
Actually, real quick before you leave, I have to figure out whether or not I can pause this daggone thing. If not, I'll just keep on yapping. But
Yeah, we can test that out.
do you have any idea how to pause it?
Well, so I don't have this pulled up on my Chromebook, um, and you are the host of this one, but I would
Yeah, I'm
go
looking
into
up
the
right now how to
recording.
pause a Riverside podcast.
So actually, I've been watching this new podcast. Well, it's not new, but I have been watching it since its infancy, and it's actually between a YouTuber that you know pretty well,
Which YouTuber?
Wendigo. I mean, I say you know that very well because you just so happen to have the same name.
You mean Windigoon?
I do mean Wendigoon.
Yeah. See, some
I've been
people actually
watch.
thought that my name was inspired from him, and I'm like, no, no, no.
That's funny.
Nothing against him,
Uh,
but my name was not inspired by him.
well, of course, I watched a lot of his stuff, and then he's made that one podcast, Creepcast.
Hmm.
Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it. I actually listened to it.
Well, I used to listen to it while I was at work. which I recently quit my job. Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
But I would listen to it while I was at work. And I've watched it since episode one, and it's pretty good. But I was kind of just trying to fill time while you checked to see if we could pause it.
No, I don't know if we can pause it. I'll just keep on yapping though.
Okie doke, I'll be back.
Okay. Alright, guys, so Logan is gone. He's doing something right now. Probably doing something goofy, if I had to guess. But, I'll just go ahead and I'll start reading some from John chapter 14, because that's what we were going to get into today. Because we were going to talk about how Jesus is the logical conclusion, because that's the name of the podcast, is the logical conclusion. And so, using truthism, we can discover that Jesus Christ is truly the logical conclusion for our lives, for our spirituality, for our religion, and just for everything in general. Jesus Christ is the logical conclusion of where we should be. So, I'm just start reading now. Verse 1, John chapter 14, the King James Version. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And whither I go ye know, and the way ye know. Thomas saith unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also, and have henceforth ye know him and have seen him. Philip said unto him, Lord, shew us the Father, and it sufficeth us. Jesus saith unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, Shew us the Father? Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me. He doeth the works. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very works' sake. Verily I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do he shall do also. Greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, and the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye ask anything in my name, I will do it. If ye love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another Comforter, that he may abide with you forever. Even the Holy Spirit, not the Holy Spirit, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, for he dwelleth with you, and shall be in you. I will not leave you comfortless, I will come to you. Yet a little while, and the world seeth me no more, but ye see me, because I live, ye shall live also. At that day ye shall know that I am in my Father, and ye in me, and I in you. He that hath my commandments, and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and will manifest myself to him. Judas saith unto him, not Iscariot, Lord, how is it that thou wilt manifest thyself unto us, and not unto the world? Jesus answered and said unto him, If a man love me, and will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings, and the word which ye hear is not mine, but the Father's which sent me. These things have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things, bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Ye have heard how I said unto you, I go away, and come again unto you. If ye love me, ye would rejoice, because I said, I go unto the Father, for my Father is greater than I. And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it is come to pass, ye might believe. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh, and hath nothing in me. But that the world may know that I love the Father, and as the Father gave me commandment, even so I do. Arise, let us go hence. Alright, yeah, so that is the reading of John chapter 14. So, pretty much Jesus here, he's talking with the apostles and he's telling them, guys, listen, I am the only way to be united with our Father which is in heaven, right? He's saying, I'm the only way to be united with God the Father. Jesus Christ is the only way to get to God the Father.
Which is actually super based.
Right. Yes, I saw your message. You saying that you're back. So yeah. Um. So Logan, would you like to go over this verse by verse with me real quick?
Yeah. Which verse are we in again?
Yes, I just finished reading the whole chapter. I'm gonna go back through the chapter.
Yeah. You didn't brief me on which chapter we were reading today
My bad. Yeah. Chapter 14.
of John. Knew it.
That's like my favorite book.
Yeah. So for context, I've never heard him read anything but John, but I have heard him read John 18 million times.
It's so goated. It's so goated. You see, because don't get me wrong, like the synoptic gospels are good. I love them to death. They are great, like amazing. I love them. But John, it speaks more to the personal life and personal thoughts of Jesus.
See,
So it gives me a better understanding of him as a person than the synoptic gospels do. At least for me, anyways.
see, I get where you're coming from. Me personally, I really like the Pauline letters. Uh,
The
of course,
epistles.
the Pauline letters to the churches. Yeah. Also, his personal letters, like to Timothy and Titus. I do enjoy those chapters and books quite well. I don't know how many times I've read Second Timothy.
Yeah. Um, Now I'm talking strictly gospel books here, not like the like New Testament books. Like New Testament books, 100%. It's got to be pastoral letters for me. Like any of them, they're all equally great. But like solely gospel books, like the four gospels. Which one's your favorite?
Matthew, hands
Matthew.
down.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love Matthew. It has the greatest storytelling in my opinion.
Well, I know that Matthew, Mark, and Luke are super similar.
Hmm.
Like, of course, there's the differences that, as Cliff would say, smacks of authenticity on the writer's parts. But like out of all three, I prefer reading Matthew.
Genuinely, Matthew just has better storytelling. I don't want to insult the other gospels. Love them all to death, but I believe that Matthew has better storytelling. John is better when it comes to giving you the personal life of Jesus.
And Luke is detailed.
Yeah, Luke is highly detailed,
which
but
makes sense because he was a doctor.
yeah, but Mark, it's like it hits you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like it is so like upfront and blunt.
Yeah, Mark is really it doesn't really add any padding.
Hmm. Um. Yeah. Sorry.
We double is crazy. So I know that Luke was a doctor, and thus that
He
comes across
was.
in the text as a very detailed author, very specific. I don't know why Matthew is so different to me. I guess it's maybe because I've read Matthew the most, but like I just feel like Matthew's easier to read for me.
Okay. Yeah. 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 So reading here that he was that you said it was Luke, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah. 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 I'm reading here that he was a physician,
right.
which
Old
is a
doctor.
doctor, right?
Yeah, old doctor.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So. Oh, my bad.
you're good.
So, I'm just gonna go through and like read their professions real quick.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so fishermen. We have Andrew, Peter, James, and John.
Who would have thought?
They were fishermen. Um, I'm just kind of going through here. Thomas, Nathaniel, and Philip may have also worked as fishermen, because they were all together in fishing when Jesus appeared to them in John chapter 21. So that is a possibility that they were fishermen. Matthew was a tax collector. Simon was a zealot, which isn't a profession, but it's just a thing that he was doing. He was like super religious. Um, Simon is Peter, right? Like,
Simon Peter, yeah.
so why is he just calling him Simon here? That's so goofy. Just call him Peter. Just make it obvious. But anyway, Judas was a thief and a treasurer and a traitor. What? Who said that? Must have been the wind.
What? What? Did someone sneeze?
Yeah. Other apostles, they don't really list their professions, but we know that they were preachers eventually, so which is a profession.
It's a based profession.
Yeah, it's the profession. Oh, real quick, actually, before we even get into reading what we're going to be reading, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Do you believe that Judas went to heaven? The one that betrayed Jesus?
Uh,
What do you think of
so
the state of his salvation was? Of course, we can never judge someone's salvation, but what do you think it was?
so sin is the rejection of God,
Correct.
and obviously
Wait,
there was
no,
a.
hold on, whoa. Is sin the rejection of God, or is it rebellion against God?
I think it's a separating away.
What do you mean?
So all sin separates you from God.
Yeah, that is
Uh,
in Galatians or was it Romans?
I'm not for sure the exact location, but if sin separates us from God, then I think it would be clear to say that all sin is a separation from God and a rejection of God. So we see that Judas Iscariot obviously betrayed God, uh, which is a separating away from him. But did he not also feel immense guilt for that?
Yes, he did. He actually went to go give the money back, but they couldn't take it. And then he went out, and so according to the story that were given from all of the Gospels, not all of them, like I think it's like three of them that mention it, he bought some land, and then he went to a field. Like so,
Didn't he
some
hang
say that he
himself?
bought the land, but some say that he just went to the land, and then he hung himself on a tree, and then he so just kind of being graphic here. It's either that the rope broke and he fell and then he died from like the splat, or that he was up there and he died and then he rotted there and then he fell and then splat because he was rotting. But we do know that he eventually did kill himself because he felt remorse for what he did.
Yeah, so I personally believe that the rope broke, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that
So
the rope broke after he died, which see, I believe that the rope broke after he died because he was up there for so long, and that the rope rotted because he was up there for so long, and no one took his body down, and so he rotted, the rope rotted, and that's why he splat when he went down. Okay, so why was there another Logan?
computer. I was hoping that would be more seamless. Do I sound any differently?
You sound horrible.
Do I actually?
Not like horrible, but different.
I can change the internal mic on this.
Yeah, try to do that.
So,
Try to do that. This guy, am I right?
so I can't change it to the internal mic. If you want me to, I'll exit here and then we'll try using internal mic. And if that doesn't sound good, I'll just go back to my phone.
I'll prefer you just go back to your phone because that was working. I don't know why you changed it.
Okay. I'll just rejoin then.
Well, but yeah, I personally believe. You there, Logan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, so I personally believe that Judas repented for what he did, and that he did receive salvation, because we do know that like to just like scripturally, it does give us evidence that Judas did truly believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, and that he truly did believe on him. So like I believe that he got saved, and then he still betrayed Jesus because we do that.
Hey, did you just see the recording stop?
Yeah, no, you just glitched out a little bit. It's fine.
The whole recording stopped.
No, the recording's fine.
Is it? Are you sure?
No, no, it was just you, bro.
It says my recording stopped.
Nah, fam, you're good.
Okay, well, I'm fully back. So, where did you leave off?
Yeah, no, so I was just saying that I believe that Judas was saved, that he got saved, but he did in fact betray Jesus. So like he got saved as an apostle, but then he betrayed Jesus afterward. But due to the fact that he was saved and the Holy Spirit was inside of him, um, because like once you are saved, you'll feel more guilt towards your sin. So I do believe that he felt guilt toward that because he was a saved Christian.
Okay, so I don't actually think he was saved in the traditional sense because I do not believe anybody could be saved in the traditional sense before Jesus' death.
What about the thief on the cross?
The thief on the cross, I don't believe that was in the traditional sense either. I believe that it
What do
was
you mean?
not
I mean
a
like he went directly to Jesus and asked to be in his
right.
kingdom. I mean that's pretty traditional to me.
So obviously we know the process of getting saved is asking God to save you, right? Like that's practically what it is.
Yeah, I mean like that's simplified, but yes.
Yeah, it that is heavily simplified. Well, he did it like straight to the source, like in face to face with the actual guy.
Well, face to back, but still.
Okay, well, you get what I mean. Um, but
Yeah, I know.
obviously
I'm
there
like
was
like I'm just trying to be funny, but that was not funny. That did
well,
not land.
now Michael, if you wanted to be funny, you would just turn on your camera, then everybody would laugh. No, but in all seriousness, man, that was kind of mean.
You're awful. Dude, you're awful.
Uh, but in all seriousness, so where was it? Because purgatory at one point was a thing.
It was?
Yeah, I believe so. Have you not read that?
Dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah, give me just a second. Or Abraham's bosom is what it was called.
Dude, the closest thing to purgatory is being on this podcast with you. So,
Okay. Do you not know about Abraham's bosom?
dude, um, that was actually talking about Abraham, that's not like an actual place.
What do you mean?
I know what you're talking about. That like Hold on,
Not
let me
in
look it up.
Luke. It's in Luke 16. It's in Luke 16.
Thank you.
I think it starts in verse 19.
Luke chapter 16, verse, I'll just go 19. 19? That's like at the end of the chapter. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's not.
not. It's 19 through
A
31 is
certain rich
the.
man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs, something, something, something. Here we go. Here it is. And it came to pass that the beggar died, and was carried by angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died, and was buried, and in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torment, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. So it's about the person Abraham. So what I'm interpreting here is kind of how, how Catholics believe that we'll see Saint Peter at the gates, a little bit like that. So like maybe Jesus was at this time speaking into the cultural thing, but maybe at that time they believe that Father Abraham would have been at the gates or something like that.
So me personally, and I do understand where you're coming from, but me personally, this was later on. Is it not them yelling out, the rich man yelling out for a drop of water in this parable?
It says, and he cried out and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame.
So
But
obviously,
no, listen. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. So,
yes. So
person Abraham.
obviously this parable is more focused on hell as a place, or that's where most people focus on it at. But you see that this is not heaven that Lazarus is not in. Lazarus is in because he can hear the people from hell. Do you
Well,
get what
what
I mean?
evidence? Well, what evidence do we even have that you can't hear the people in hell while you're in heaven?
So I guess that would go to the fact. I'm trying to look for it because I do not have my physical Bible in front of me. So I'm like,
See, now I do agree that once you're in heaven, you cannot hear them, but he's not talking. He's not talking to Lazarus here. He's talking to Abraham, which we can assume that Abraham is outside of the gates here.
could you say that again? I'm sorry, I was reading.
Yeah, because he's not talking to Lazarus. He's telling Abraham to send Lazarus. So we can kind
Correct.
of assume that God will have jobs for people in heaven to do certain things. And so maybe Abraham's job is to be like a greeter of sorts into heaven. And so as a greeter, he can see the other afterlife.
Into Abraham's bosom. So you're thinking, okay, so I get what you're saying. I'm trying to read for context here. Water and cool. Okay, the reason that I think that this is a different place, um, besides heaven, is where is it that Abraham died? Do you know where that is in the Bible?
I'm looking it up right now.
Thank you, Michael.
Genesis 25. I'm looking at it. Here, let me switch the version to KJV because I'm sure we know. Oh, here it is, King James Version. What verse
The
was it
most
again?
elite. You said chapter 25, right?
Yeah, it was chapter 25. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find it based on the goodness.
It's verse 8.
Verse 8. Okay.
Then
And
Abraham gave up
Abraham
the
gave up.
ghost. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, then Abraham gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. That's about it.
That's short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah. Now what does
So,
the NIV have to say about this?
okay, okay, buddy. I know the
That
criteria.
Abraham breathed his last and died at a good old age, an old man and full of years, and he was gathered to his family.
But that's
Why
not
do
what
they
it's
have
supposed
even?
to say.
Why do they have older English in the KJV? What do you mean breatheth his last?
Bro, because literally, I don't know. I guess this kind of like geographically dates us or geographically locates us. But giving up the ghost where we're from just means that thing died.
Yeah, maybe that's just like where we grew up on KJV, and everyone around here grew up on KJV, and that's just what we've been reading about death. Gave up
That's
the
very
ghost.
true. But I've also heard a lot of non-religious people say that.
I don't know, man, but yeah.
But I do agree with you. Maybe it wasn't a. I know in tradition, Abraham's bosom is the title in which they give to the concept of purgatory before the people. Trying to look, because I do believe people got to heaven before Jesus died.
Well, I mean, it is a Jewish tradition. It's not explicitly said in the Bible that it is that way, and since it is Jewish, you can't necessarily make it, be true. So you gotta watch out for that because they do make stuff up.
They do also, yeah, they do that sometimes.
Because
So,
I'm like, okay, hold on. Just look at the Pharisees in the Bible. How they were talking to Jesus. They were like, hold on now, something something. You can't be healing people on the Sabbath. Where does it say that at? So, like their traditions can't be confused with scripture. Just because it's tradition doesn't make it true. And,
right.
and, and like I said, like Jesus could have just been giving into the tradition of the time and using that as an example to warn of hell. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just reading over.
So, because
So,
like imagine if I was preaching a sermon to a bunch of little kids. I'm like, hey guys, look, like when you die, do you want to respawn in heaven with Jesus or respawn in hell without Jesus? Obviously, it's not respawning. You know, I mean, like your soul's just moving to a place. You're not respawning because the soul doesn't truly die. So, like that's not how it actually is. I'm just using the cultural context of the time.
okay, so I get where the people who are thinking that purgatory is a place comes from. It comes from Ephesians chapter 4.
Ephesians chapter 4. The fact that
Yeah,
it comes from
so
Ephesians chapter 4 makes me think I can just look at the verse like right before or right after and completely disprove what they're saying.
so actually it's the verse that they're saying does not lend credence to them at all. It's the verses after the verses that they state that actually lend
Okay,
credence.
so what verses are we talking about?
So online it says Ephesians 4, 8 through 10.
Okay. Therefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers. So they're just talking about the resurrection of Jesus here.
Right. It's talking about the harrowing of hell, as they say, the going down into the lower parts of earth,
I think I'll right back
hell.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, and then going back up. But I guess where they're coming from is he led the captivity captive.
So, I do believe that there was people in hell at that time that when Jesus went down there, he brought back up with him. I believe that, but
So I
that's
don't
about
think
it.
that. That's why I think that there was two separate places.
See, now in some tradition, it is that like they didn't even have access to heaven. That there was two parts of hell, that like, they were awaiting for the Messiah to come and get them and bring them back up.
So I know in the tradition that I've heard is that, and I don't agree that it should have been called Abraham's bosom because I do agree that Abraham's bosom was literally Abraham chilling there and Lazarus just chilling with Abraham. Uh,
Yes, I
but
always interpreted that scripture as just like Lazarus saw Abraham and ran to hug him, and they were just hugging and chilling,
well,
because
I
I
don't
mean,
think that takes place in heaven though, because as you know, heaven is high up. Like you've got the heaven
like
beyond the
I said,
heavens.
I mean, like it could be metaphorical,
It
because I
could be
mean, like we don't
metaphorical
take because I mean,
because
we,
it technically
we
is
don't
a
take the
parable.
Eucharist literally.
It could be metaphorical because it is a parable, but I also want to state that most parables don't call out someone by name. Specifically, what I'm saying here, Lazarus. Lazarus was called
Abraham.
out by name.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I mean, yeah, Jesus could have literally just been giving an example for the culture of the time, because I mean, like I said, we don't always take his parables to mean literally what he is saying, because you always have to look deeper into them. Even he says that. But the thing is, we don't take the Eucharist literally. So why would we make this be the one that we take literally? You know what I mean? It's I don't think it's meant to be literal.
Well, I do
If we're going to
believe
be
I
taking anything literal, we're going to be taking the Eucharist literal. You know
do
what I mean?
believe that in every parable there is metaphor and then there is things that are meant to be taken literally.
Yeah, yeah, like it's a metaphor for a literal thing. Hell,
So I do believe that, in my personal opinion, this is left up to interpretation. But I do believe the structure in hell is laid out very, very well in this
the
parable.
structure in hell.
The structure of hell.
There's no structure of hell.
Well, there is clearly.
Um, Hell's simple separation from God. There's no structure there.
Yes, but did you not see the chasm, or not the chasm? Where was the chapter and verse for the parable of the Lazarus and Abraham's bosom? Rich man and the poor man.
I had it. I, I
Long
got
prophets
I got
forever.
off of it.
Okay, I found it. Um, going down. Dogs licked his sores. Okay. And in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. So there is a clear separation between Abraham and Lazarus, and then hell.
Well, because it's metaphorical about the separation from hell and God.
Again, we don't know how much of this is metaphorical.
I believe that it's
Okay, here it is.
almost
Yeah,
entirely
here's the gulf.
metaphorical. Also, excuse me for burping.
Yeah, right into the mic, I might add it. So this is where I got this concept from as a young child. In verse 26, it says, "And beside all this, between us and you there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can pass to us that would come from thence." All that's simply saying is, hey, those people in hell can't get over here, and these people over here can't get to you. So I do.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not. That's not saying that there's a structure to hell. That's saying that they're locked in there eternally.
They're saying that there's a separation between them and hell.
In hell and heaven, yeah.
Yes. So the
See, now I
structure
do have a question. I have a question. Do you believe hell and heaven are two separate places or one place?
separate.
See, there is a interpretation that says that they are the same place, but due to how close you are to God in your lifetime, makes it feel like heaven or hell. Because I mean, like if you don't accept Him, it's gonna feel like hell. It's gonna burn. But if you do accept Him and you're cleansed by His blood, then it's gonna feel like heaven.
Well, I don't agree with that interpretation.
Can you
So
explain
the
why not?
it that's I just don't see that being laid out in the Bible clearly.
Yeah, but do you see it not being laid out in the Bible clearly?
The Bible never said there isn't nine generals in hell. What? Some context for that joke is a
Yeah.
Ask Cliff clip.
Oh my
But no.
goodness.
Okay, so this is where I don't know in the Baptist tradition. I don't know why they call it Abraham's bosom because Abraham's bosom is literally stated in here to be the bosom of Abraham. But I do see where they get the concept of a purgatory-like place in the Baptist tradition. And I do agree with it actually, because I believe that heaven is a elevated place. I'm trying to look for that when it's talking about heaven, because I do believe that is laid out.
You know, the point of today's episode was supposed to be us talking about how Jesus is the only way to be united with the Father.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm treating
But
this as a
but we're
call.
50,
So,
yeah, but we're 51 minutes in and we haven't mentioned Jesus once.
well, sure we have. We've mentioned him going down into the pits of hell to get the or going down into the earth
Well, I mean, like
to
we haven't
get.
mentioned him being the only way to get to heaven once yet.
Okay, I've got you. Let me cover it so we can get back to the conversation. John 3:16. Okay,
Back to the conversation.
back to the conversation at hand. So,
Don't worry, I'll
so
smoothly transition it later.
yeah. So what I'm stating simply is that I do believe that heaven is a separated place from heaven, and I do believe that the parable of the rich man and the poor man
You believe heaven's
is
separate from heaven?
heaven and hell is what I meant.
Goofy, but yeah,
But I do
continue.
believe that the parable of the rich man and the poor man is supposed to be taken more literally than the other parables, simply for the fact of Lazarus was a real person.
Do you know that he was talking about like the Lazarus that he revived, or was he talking about um the like just a random Lazarus, like just saying, oh yeah, there's a guy named Lazarus.
So I think it was a random guy named Lazarus because this was
I think he just kind of
Lazarus.
pulled up the name randomly because it was a common name.
I do believe that this was a literal guy because in all of the other parables, there was no one named specifically by name.
Well, I mean, we can't say that for sure. Let me look it up.
I meant in a sense of, hey, we've never heard of this person before. He's in this one parable. Obviously, in Luke chapter 16.
Two parables: the sower and the rich man and Lazarus.
Okay, so it's clearly separated.
Um, the sower is in Matthew. I'm gonna go ahead and look that up while you're talking about this.
Okay,
Okay.
so the way I think this is structured out is heaven is elevated. Uh, I think heaven is a higher place. I'm trying to look that back up in Ephesians. Um, because as we were stating previously, Jesus had went down into the depths of the earth to get the captive, and that's when I think they're going to this purgatory-like place that is separated off from hell, as we see in Luke chapter 16. There is a gulf between hell and this purgatory-like place. I don't believe it was called purgatory. Well, it's not in Luke chapter 16. But I don't think purgatory is mentioned specifically in the Bible.
Yeah.
I don't.
Real quick, I'm gonna meet real quick. I'm gonna get me something to drink. You can just keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, simply put, the way I think this is structured out is heaven is highly elevated in a spiritual sense above the earth, and then in the depths of the earth or deep in the earth is hell, and between hell and this um purgatory-like place is a mighty gulf. So, like we see in Luke chapter 16, I'm pulling that back up. I'm going to make more tabs so that I can tell you guys my reasoning easier. I've been through I don't know how many studies on this. Yeah, in verse 28, it says, I'm sorry, in verse 26, it says, and beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. Then he said, I pray thee, therefore, Father, that thou wilt send him to my father's house. What is send him to my father's house? For I have 5 brethren. And then it goes on to tell him to ask to testify to his 5 brothers. And Abraham pretty much said no, because if he won't listen to the prophets, won't listen to him. So the reason I think that it's separated is I do believe that this parable is meant to be taken more literally
Hmm.
because of the reasons that I had lined out before.
Yeah.
And when we had previously read him going down into the earth, it directly says he then went up, looking for that verse right now.
Well, I mean, I gotta look for it because we just read it earlier. Like the audience knows what we're talking about.
Yes, but it is in Ephesians somewhere. So that's why I believe that there's 3 distinct places. Yeah, it's in Ephesians 4:9. So if you're looking at this and taking, I don't think anybody would be taking notes, but on the off chance someone is, Ephesians chapter 4, and then the verse is verse 9.
Hmm.
And I'm going to reread that one more time. And it says, now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? So ascended in verse 10, it says, he that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. So obviously he's going up above the earth, up above where we're currently at, after first descending. So you see the separation of heaven being higher and hell being lower. And then back in
Right.
Luke, you see that
So
there's a
hell and
gulf.
heaven are obviously not the same place, though.
Right. No, I see that there is a clear separation
Yeah. See,
in
now the
my
reason I was just bringing that up earlier is because I heard that somewhere, and it kind of intrigued me
right.
because I mean, like it makes some sense at first. Like if you haven't read your Bible ever, it kind of makes sense when. I'm sorry. I'm
So
sorry.
I get
I'm
that
sorry
was a little
that
mean.
was rude, but yeah.
Um so the reason that I think there's 3 distinct places is because I don't think that the parables are meant
I
to
don't
be
think there is
taking.
any more though. We have to clarify that because we're
Yeah, I
not.
don't think there's more. And I do
Yeah.
believe that this, and I'm going to go ahead and refer to it as Abraham's bosom, because in the traditional Baptist vernacular, we call this third and separate place Abraham's bosom, even though I believe in the actual verses context it was talking about literally Abraham's bosom. But I am, for the sake of convenience, going to refer to it as Abraham's bosom. I believe that there's these 3 distinct places. Obviously, you see the heaven, the hell, and the separation down in the depths of the earth with hell is a separate place
Wait. So
where
is
Abraham
Abraham's
resided.
wait? Okay. So is Abraham's bosom a separate place within hell?
No, it's a
Well,
separate place within the depths of the earth, separated off from hell.
do you think hell is like literally in the earth, or is it another dimension?
I believe it's in a spiritual dimension.
Then then how would they be able to even see the depths of the earth?
Well, Jesus was going down there in a spiritual sense.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is, um, like this, like Abraham's bosom place, it can't be literally in the earth.
Well, I believe that hell is literally in the earth, but I believe it is on a spiritual plane of existence, so that we couldn't, with our human and earthly eyes, not comprehend or not conceive, but visualize it. We couldn't see it for what it is.
Mhm.
Because
See,
as
now
you know,
there is a theory that the core of the earth is hell, and that like not like if we could hypothetically access it, which we can't, we'll just boil alive. If that like that we would see the salts there. That hell is literally the core of the earth.
The
That's why it's
reason
so
I
hot.
the reason I lend credence to it being a different plane, a soul plane, is
Because heaven
because
is that as well.
yeah, well, yeah, because heaven is that is also, and I don't believe that there is a major difference. Of course, I'm talking in a metaphorical sense. There's not a huge difference between the concept of heaven and the concept of hell in a dimensional plane kind of way. Because if a soul is going up to heaven, it's going to this different, separated off from this plane of existence place so that
Mm-hmm.
they can live with God. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why that wouldn't also apply to Satan.
Right. Like I don't think that would just not apply because I'm like if you're being like eternally united with God or eternally separated from
Separated.
God, you're still being sent somewhere.
Right.
Certainly not here, that's for sure.
I would also like to think that if we were being separated from God, it would have to be uh, dimension spanning.
Right. So speaking of being united with God, so Jesus says here in John chapter 14, verse 6, it says, Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So when Jesus is saying that, do you believe what he is saying here
Could
is
you say
100?
that? Could you reread that?
Okay, yeah. So Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. Do you believe that that applied all throughout the Bible? Like, even Adam had to go through Jesus?
Well, yeah, I believe that he was in this purgatory or Abraham's bosom place, and that when
Boom.
Jesus died,
Perfect. Okay, finally,
yeah,
some common freaking sense. So there's some people that say that the terms of salvation changed like throughout the Bible. Um, that's just not the case. How would that ever work?
yeah, I don't believe that the qualifications changed.
Yeah,
Besides
how?
the fact of we don't have to respect. We're not under the law anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The underlying road to salvation to get to heaven stayed the same,
Mm-hmm.
but there is different rules applied to different.
Well, the law was simply set in place to ensure that the Israelites, not the Israelis, the Israelites, two different groups, by the way. I'm gonna make that very clear here. Um, those who know will know. But the Israelites were set aside to be separate in order to look different, so the world would look upon them and say, wow, there's something different about them. Wow, there's something special about them. I wonder what they have that we don't. What they had that they didn't was a God, the one true God, right? And his name was Jesus Christ. And so I believe that that now applies to the church in the modern day. I think I preached a sermon on that at my church once. I'm not sure if you were there to listen to it or not. But so I preached that the modern day church has the same duty that Israel had back in the Old Testament to simply be separate from the world, and to allow them to look upon us and say, "Wow, I wonder what they have that we don't." So they can not give glory to us, but give glory to our Father that is in heaven.
Also, another thing, as we both believe in the Trinity,
Of
um,
course.
so to trust in the Father before knowing the existence of the Christ, Jesus,
Hmm.
uh, trusting in the Father would be the equivalent.
Yeah. Jesus says here. He says here in verse 7, "If ye had known me, then ye should have known my Father also, and from henceforth ye know him and have seen him."
So actually, and what I was going to say is Matthew chapter 7, verse 22. This is actually the parable of the wise man and the foolish man.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
says,
I love that.
yeah, it's a great one. But for this example, I'm saying, in verse 22, it says, Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And
I've
in thy
preached so
name,
many sermons on that, dude.
yes, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy
Mm-hmm.
name done many wonderful works. And then I will profess unto them, I never knew ye, depart from me, ye that work iniquity. But in verse 24 it says, Therefore whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken to him who built the wise man, which built his house upon the rock. And I'm just going to throw this out there, but the
Rock is
rock in
Jesus.
Christianity is
That rock is
Jesus.
Jesus. Oh, dude. Okay, hold on. You're gonna have to like give me those verses real quick because I'm gonna cook. I have preached
Matthew
so many sermons on this, bro. Like, dude,
Matthew
I am
7
like
22 through 24.
7:22. Listeners, be prepared. Okay,
See, this is when we enter the flow state.
dude. This is the flow state. Have many, yeah. Not everyone that say unto me, yeah. So it starts in 21, by the way. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in that name, and in thy name cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Therefore whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken unto him as a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rains descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. A rock is Jesus Christ. You understand that? So, and then we continue going on, and everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. The rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. So I'm just go back and break it down for you. So not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Well, the will of the Father that is in heaven is to go to Jesus Christ truly and truly believe on him, right? Not just cry out, Lord, Lord. No, you truly must have a relationship with him. That is the will of the Father, because the Father wants to be united with you through his Son, right? Because we just read in John chapter 14 that he is the only way to get to the Father, right? He is the way, the truth, and the life, right? Nobody can go to the Father except through him.
And to
So we
lend credence to what you're saying, sorry for butting in here, but in First Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5, it says, or in verse 4, it says, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. So to lead credence into what you were previously saying, and you believe that the rock that the rich man was not building
mhm,
his foundation upon, was it Christ, or the rock of the church, even for that matter, it
you're wrong.
clearly states
Like if you,
that
if
you're
you believe
wrong.
anything other than that, you're wrong.
Like it clearly states that in First Corinthians 10.
And then it continues on. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in that name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful. What now, Logan? Read that word for me. Read that word for me. What is it?
Works.
Works. Yes. Yes. What they're saying, Lord, look at all these works that I have done. Right. So I'm gonna continue. So they're saying, Lord, look at what I'm doing here, right? Look at all I have done. They refuse to point at what Jesus has done, right? They're pointing at that pile of saying the many, many, many small things. There are many, 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 many works, and they're pointing at their works and saying, Lord, it's good enough. When it's not, nothing we can do will ever be good enough because we are not good enough. We are sinners, right? But we are sinners, if we truly believe on Christ, we are sinners saved by grace, right? Because we're building our house on that one rock that is Jesus Christ. That rock is that one work that he did. You can believe that it's either him or that one work that he did, right? But ultimately, we truly must believe on him and nothing but him and not our works, because it continues on here, and then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Iniquity means evil. So yes, they did many wonderful things, but they're still workers of iniquity. Why? Because they did not truly believe on Jesus Christ. Because they did not truly rely on his work, not their works. You must rely on his work, that work that he did on the cross, that work of dying, that death that he died so that we would not die. He died so that we could live. That work. They didn't believe on that work. They believed on their works. And so they went to hell because they believed on their works and not his work.
And at
Right?
the end of the day, what he did was a permanent sacrifice. And if we're going to use back to this example of the rock and the sand, at the end of the day, a boulder-sized pile of sand can be
Mm-hmm.
kicked away, but a boulder cannot be kicked away because the sacrifice that Jesus did was eternal and everlasting, not to just be easily kicked away.
See, now, in verse 27 it says, "And the rains descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it." Well, I'm sure you know what erosion is, right? Erosion works a whole lot better on freaking sand than it does on a rock, doesn't it, Logan?
Clearly, because sand can be washed away, just as the things of this earth are going to be washed away in death.
Hmm. Just like the many works that we do in this world will be washed away. But that rock that Jesus Christ is, that we build our house on, our house of salvation, that we build on his one work, it won't be washed away. It won't be blown away. Because what he done was permanent and it's gonna stay. But you have to make the decision to build your house on that rock. Right? Like you truly have to believe on Jesus Christ, or else you're gonna go to hell.
I hate to play the obvious card of John 3:16, but I'm going to. I'm clearly going to do that.
Actually,
So,
read John 3:17 with it. It helps out a lot.
of course, a lot of people overlook John 3:17,
It's
but
so
like
noted.
it's a great to remember memorize them both. But anyway, so John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into this world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. It clearly states in verse 17, through him,
Wait, can
through
you
him.
read verse 18 as well?
He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son. If you do not believe, you are condemned already. This is a
Right.
precursor. If you die and you do
Mm-hmm.
not believe, it doesn't matter how many good works you did, because that's just
Mm-hmm.
sand. Sand to be washed away through death.
Yes, now what I said in one of my sermons, I'm sure you heard me say it a few times, that if we had to build a staircase up to heaven using our works, I would not even have a staircase large enough to build me up to the pulpit. So truly, but Jesus Christ, he built that staircase for us, right? Yes, so technically salvation is about being good enough. It is. But Jesus Christ was the only one that was good enough, so he took it for us.
Hey, what's our time looking like right now?
1 hour and 12 minutes.
Okay, we still got plenty of time.
Oh, yeah, dude, and we are locked in on Jesus right now.
So I like looking through these verses as we talk.
Mm-hmm.
But it's simply put, we are nothing without God.
Oh,
I believe the verse is, I'm sure you know which one I'm about to go to.
don't actually.
Really? Okay.
Like, once you
Uh,
say it, I'll probably know.
Isaiah 64:6. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags. But we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away. All of our righteousness, all of it, absolutely all of it, is like a filthy rag in the face of God.
Huh? Amen.
I know that in verse 7 of the same chapter, it says, And there is none that calleth upon thy name that stirreth up himself to take hold of thee, for thou hast Okay, for thou hast hid thy face from us, and hast consumed us because of our iniquities. We are not even righteous enough to see the face of God, much
Amen.
less to get to heaven through our own works.
Amen.
I know the verse. There's verses of the light shone and the darkness comprehended it not.
Yeah, that was John chapter 1.
I'm going to read that off when I get
It's
to
like
it.
at the very beginning of the chapter. It's like the intro. It's like the hardest intro in the Bible.
It is so based, actually. Like, actually so based. You said Matthew,
John chapter 1.
John chapter 1?
Yeah, start with verse 1 as well because there's the intro itself just it goes so hard.
You mean First John?
No, just John, like the book of John.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word
Mm-hmm.
was God.
Yeah.
The same was in the beginning with God. All things we were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. The darkness comprehended it not, because the light was so bright. That
Mm-hmm.
there was a man sent from God whose name was John, and then it goes on through the rest of John. But our works are not even good enough to let us see the face of God.
Mm-hmm.
Our righteousness is as sand that is going to be washed away by the ocean of death,
Mm-hmm.
the tide of death,
Right.
and our darkness, when the light of God shines, the darkness, we can't even comprehend it. If God was to show our face, if God was to show his face to our pitiful beings, we couldn't even comprehend it. So simply put, and I guess I know this is the whole thought of today's podcast, but the only way to get to heaven is through Jesus and God, who are the same.
Yeah. So to add on to that, um, like Jesus Christ, he has made it so plain and so very obvious that he is the only way to get into heaven, right? And so like there's something that is so strange to me is when people will say that there are multiple ways to get into heaven, or there are multiple ways to be united with God, or that all religions worship the same God. You gotta be a special kind of retarded if you believe that.
Now, Michael, you can't say that word anymore.
I can and I will. It's my podcast. I like to see them try to stop me. But
They just like show up to your house.
no, but genuinely, like you gotta be special if you believe that all religions worship the same God.
So the statement that all gods are the same is
Yeah.
like so contradictory because if we're holding all religions as true, then how can two things that make a claim to be the truth that contradict themselves? Like if I say, "Hey, me and Michael are both right," and I'm pointing at this shirt and I'm saying, "Hey, it's only
Mm-hmm.
blue," and he's
The
saying it's
core
only
concept of
red,
truthism, bro. Like it
right?
is the core concept of truthism.
They cannot both be true if they disagree with each other on a
Yeah.
fundamental level.
Oh yeah. See now, Allah and Jesus Christ disagree a lot. Allah says that it is okay for Muhammad to marry a 9-year-old girl and consummate that marriage with her. Well, marry at 6 and consummate when she was 9. Horrible. Allah says that's okay. Jesus Christ says that they need a millstone tied around their neck and thrown in the sea.
3 years is a crazy amount of time
Yeah, but
for a
still,
6 years old is wild. By the
6,
way,
7.
okay, this you've now dated the podcast to the year 2025.
uh,
6, 7.
but yeah, um,
Not only have you dated the podcast to 2025, you've dated us as high schoolers.
I don't care. It's hilarious
Bro, I said 6, 7 the other day, and you looked at me like I was a mentally retarded kid.
because you are.
Okay, okay. If I'm
But yeah,
weed eater, weed eater.
but yeah. So, by the way, that is an inside joke. But anyways, Allah says that it's okay for Muhammad to marry that 9-year-old. Jesus Christ says that it's not. Buddha is just Buddha. He's stupid. Um, Hinduism says that there's an infinite amount of gods. How's that even possible?
Well, to say that it all I like to use infinite the religions that use infinite amount of gods. If you believe that we're all worshiping the same God, then how can a God that claims that it is monotheistic be the same as all of the other gods that believe that they are separate
Yeah.
entities?
Um, like especially like the infinite gods ones. Like Hinduism, we believe in infinite gods. So you believe in Jesus? Yeah, well, Jesus Christ is the only God.
Yeah, so either Jesus doesn't exist in your religion, or your religion is just completely
It's a sham.
invalidated.
It's a
Yeah, it's
sham.
just a complete it's a it's a complete farce to say that hey, we also believe in Jesus while Jesus is stating that he is the only God.
The only way to get around that is being a Unitarian and saying that Jesus Christ isn't God. He's just the Son of God, which is heresy, blasphemy, and not Christianity.
That really like that heavily disagrees with the Godhead.
Yeah. No, like what see like Unitarianism is strictly not Trinitarianism. Like it says that Jesus Christ just isn't God, which is goofy because he is God, right? He's the only true God. All other gods are false gods and fallen angels. Like the pagan gods, for example, they're, in my opinion, all of them are fallen angels that fell with Lucifer, um, like, and they deceived humanity because we know that their goal was to overthrow God and to be worshipped as gods. So what makes us think that they didn't stop having that ambition? You know what I mean?
And I hate to be the guy who always just goes to Nephilim. And I don't usually pull that card like ever,
Yeah, no, no, pull that card right now.
but
Like we're
um
going there.
we're all the way in at this point. Does
Yeah.
the Bible say great men of renown?
Well, we do know that they were powerful. Hold on, let me look up the verses real quick.
It's Genesis chapter 6, and then it's also Numbers 13, I think.
Genesis chapter 6. I'll go there first
Okay.
because that one gives more detail, doesn't it?
I believe so. I'm also going to go ahead and go to Numbers so that you don't have to.
Thank you, appreciate it.
While he's going there, I'm going to rattle off my point. Yeah, the Greek gods and everything, the like the Hercules and everybody. Do I believe that there might have been a thing that claimed to be a god? Yes, that is very possible. But do I believe that it was a god? No, I believe it was either a devil, a demon in disguise, or a Nephilim. Are you at your location, Michael?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it says here in Genesis chapter 6, and it came to pass, men began to multiply on the face of earth, and daughters were born unto them. And the sons of God, referring to angels or fallen angels here, saw the daughters of men that they were fair, good looking. And they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. And there were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of man, when the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old men of renown. And God saw the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man, and it grieved him in his heart.
Dang, Genesis 6:6 always hits hard. Like, even in context, out of context, like if you read Genesis 6:6 and it just does not hit hard, like you might need to reread it. Like, if it does not hit incredibly hard, like to read, and it repented the Lord that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Rethink how you contextualize that verse. I know that back in
See, now this is
the
talking about the Nephilim here because
yes,
it does it say the word Nephilim? Because I don't remember reading that. But
I don't think the word Nephilim is not actually in the Bible. That comes from a non-canonical book of the Bible.
see,
Um,
now different translations do say Nephilim.
they do because in our colloquial vernacular, we have labeled them as the Nephilim because that is what we had. Nephilim actually, what it does is it
Numbers
comes
thirteen
from
thirty three. Does it say Nephilim?
no, it doesn't. So it actually talks more about giants. Um, and the word
Okay,
Nephilim,
hold on. Jude 1:6. Does it talk about Nephilim?
Jude 1:6.
No, it doesn't mention Nephilim. The only one that actually says the word Nephilim is Genesis 1 through 4, but that's in um, um, a different translation of the Bible. So Nephilim's just what we call them, right?
Yeah. So the
Okay.
word Nephilim, I believe, actually comes from the book of Enoch.
Yeah.
And the etymology of that is from the Hebrew name of I'm not going to pronounce this, but it looks like Nephilim, except for it's literally just spelled Nefilm, Nephilim, which likely translated to the fallen ones or those who cause other to fall. And of course, in the book of Enoch, they were identified as corrupted humanity and these powerful beings. But it also says in there that they were powerful beings, men of renown, and also giants. And the starting of the Greek pantheon, Zeus and all of his brethren and sisters, to kick
Mm-hmm.
off to kick off the Greek pantheon, what they first did is they fought
Rebel
all of the
against their
giants.
father.
They rebelled against their father and they killed all the giants, or they fought the giants, which
Yeah,
was
and
also
so
their fathers.
the giants were actually above the gods for some reason. It was weird. It was like a ranking thing, so it was giants and then gods.
Well, I think that it is telling that the start of the Greek pantheon is the Greek gods rebelling against their father,
Mm-hmm.
which
And
I'm
then we
not
also
going.
know that in the Norse pantheon it says that in the time there's going to be like not a rebellion but a war with the Greek, not the Greek gods, but like a war, like amongst the gods. And then we know that in Christianity there's going to be a war between God and the fallen angels. In Christianity, we know that our God wins, but in Norse paganism, it doesn't necessarily say who's going to win. It just kind of leaves an open book. We're going to wait and see type stuff.
Well, I don't. So obviously, I don't think the Book of Enoch is. That's an extra biblical text. It is a non-canonical book of the Bible. I do not think it actually holds water as a biblical text. But I do think that it would be interesting for me and you to read the Book of Enoch and have an episode over it. I think we could absolutely deconstruct why it doesn't fit into the uh, canonized version of the Bible. But like even it's clear that the Nephilim were not great people, which I think comes across great in the Greek mythology because all the Greek gods were crazy odd and did very bad things, like very bad things. And the Nephilim were so bad that they constantly thought of bad things, and of course Genesis 6:6 happened.
See now, and now that kind of reminds me of how in Greek mythology there's all these demigods, where it's like a mix between people and gods, and it's typically always like one of the quote unquote gods mating with the female, which is how the Bible says that it went. Um, so a demigod is just a half mortal, half quote unquote god, you know. And
Right.
an Nephilim is a half fallen angel, half person, and we believe that the demigods are fallen angels, so literally demigods are just Nephilim. And they fit the description of the Nephilim that we find in Genesis chapter 6. They were the same became mighty men, which were of old men of renown.
yeah, I think that it from a biblical stance of the world, if we're looking back at history, and you've heard the phrase that all mythology holds a truth in it, um, that if we look and we take their mythology from the point of view of, hey, there were these men who could do things that we could not explain, so we have to make this mythology around them, then it could be easily surmised that they are talking about these men of renown, as stating in Genesis chapter 6.
Yeah.
I don't think that is a stretch whatsoever to say that the pantheon of gods in these pre uh pre Christ eras were not just, or yeah, pre Christ eras. I don't think that is a stretch to say that these people were just Nephilim, sons of gods, sons of the
Demons.
sons of the demons, and also maybe even the demons themselves.
Yeah. See, I truly believe that, and people are going to say, oh, well, you're demonizing the other religions. Well, yes, I am. Um, Literally, I am. See, I believe that all other religions that do not worship Jesus Christ as the one true God worship demons. See,
Yeah, I
they're
do
all
think
devil
that's
worshippers. They worship Satan. All other religions, every single one of them, ask me who, and I'll tell you who. Like, I'll go down the line and I'll say yes, 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 and yes to every single one of them. If they do not believe that Jesus Christ is the one true God, they worship demons or they are deceived by demons. And there is no other way around it because Jesus Christ is the one true God. You might say, oh, well, some of them have good morality. I don't care about morality. Satan doesn't care about morality. The thing is, we need to care about Jesus Christ. Satan hates Jesus Christ. He don't care about good morals or bad morals. He hates Jesus Christ. He ultimately will use good morals sometimes to take you away from Jesus Christ. He'll say, hey, look, we have these good morals and this, that, and the other. But ultimately, it doesn't matter what you have. It's sand when compared to the rock that is Jesus Christ. So ultimately, they have all these religions, but there's only one true religion, and it's the religion that worships Jesus Christ as the one true God.
I think when it comes to if we're assuming that these people that are listening already believe that the Bible is the standpoint in which they view the world, I don't think that it is, not only is it not a stretch, but it seems like the clear conclusion
It is
to
the
simply
most
say,
logical
I
conclusion.
think that it might be the logical conclusion to say that these extra biblical and mythological uh,
Mm-hmm.
deities are demons, Nephilim,
Oh
sons
yeah,
of
oh
demons.
yeah. So, that's why you'll never catch me saying that someone's God doesn't exist. Yeah, their gods do exist. They're just demons from hell. And look, I know that's blunt. I know that's demonizing. I know that's mean. But I don't care. They worship demons.
But I don't care. It's funny. That's a good line. I know
Yeah,
that's mean, but I don't care.
yeah, it is mean. Do something about it. Jesus Christ is the one true God.
You just get a knock on your door.
No.
Oh no, he's a redditor.
No. I'm gonna be a martyr for my religion. Listen, um, this podcast isn't gonna take off enough to even make that happen.
Yeah, no one is actually going to listen to this, and if they do, I hope they enjoy it.
Yeah. But ultimately, man, Jesus Christ is the one true God. He is the only way to get to God the Father. No one can go to God the Father except through Him.
And considering that is the thesis of today's episode, I don't think we have all too much more to add, actually.
Um, yeah, I think that should be it. I should be uploading. Just real quick, you mind if I just do some like channel
Yeah,
updates real quick?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Also,
So,
before you say that real quick,
mhm.
so if you like today's episode, you should definitely like subscribe and leave comments and crap so that we can get this tiny thing called engagement so that other people can hear us. Yeah.
Mhm. And
because
do make sure to share it with people and be like, "Hey, listen to these goobers." I mean, like, even if you disagree with us, like, let us know if you disagree with us. Like,
hey, listen to these idiots. They yap for like 2 hours about something that's goofy. Even if
yeah,
you have that standpoint, just share it with your friends.
oh, yeah. And if you
Um,
disagree with us, contact me. I want you to be on the podcast. I want disagreement. It's
yes,
fun
that would be a very
as long
fun
as it's
thing.
civil.
Yeah, we don't want someone who comes on to the podcast and screams and hollers and it's just like, hey, you're goofy and I have no evidence or an actual intellectual argument. Like kind of what we did today when me and Michael were talking about our view on the structure of heaven and hell and Abraham's bosom. We did kind of disagree and we went back and forth a little bit, but at the end of the day, we kind of came to a consensus. So even if you disagree with us and you're willing to have a uh, calm conversation or a respectful conversation, we would love to have you on the podcast. And also, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. So I will let Michael finish off.
Just like I will be uploading some more gaming videos here soon. Um, if you all have prayer requests, put them in the comments as well. We'll be praying for those. Uh, like any ifs, ands, or buts about the comments, questions, or concerns, please comment those down below. Subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends. If you disagree with us, let us know. Again, God bless you all. I hope you all have a wonderful time until next podcast. I'll see you all then. And signing off now. Goodbye.